Hello, welcome everyone to the Healer's Journey. I'm your host, Leisha Lee, and together we are navigating healthcare and self care through meaningful conversations with healthcare professionals, workers in the community, and partners who have partnered with H Cubed, who has brought us this wonderful live where we navigate healthcare together. So today we have two special guests who are partners of H Cube. So we have Derek Ruffin, who is the owner and instructor of Blue Tier and Ground Zero. And we have Jennifer Smith, who is the owner and body worker of Evolve Studio. Derek, Jennifer,
Good. How
welcome,
are you doing?
welcome. Thank you so much for being part of this conversation today. I'm so excited to
Thank you
really
for the
dig into
opportunity.
y'all's experience. Yeah, of course. So Derek, let's start with you. Can you give us a little bit of your background, kind of give people like an overview of who you are and what you do in the community? Because you wear many hats. So
Yeah, that you pretty much summed it up. I do wear a few hats. Um, I got involved with, you know, Heroic Heroes. Carl and I, we worked together in the emergency room. We actually worked together first at Crittenton Children's Psych, where we worked in acute psych trauma. And from there, we both ended up at KU Med, where I was an emergency nurse, ER nurse there, and Carla was also there at the ER as well. Um, I also have a background in psych emergency, or what we call psychiatric liaison services at KU Med. So I worked there. Traveled as well during the height of COVID in New York City as an ER nurse there when that broke out. The other hat, I kind of on the opposite side of the tracks. I'm also in law enforcement, former KCPD, currently with Jackson County Sheriff's Department as a tactical medic, as well as other roles, search and rescue K9, and there's some other facets to the job that kind of come with again dealing with the community as well. All of that being said, that's how I came up with Blue Tier Training Solutions. The tier actually stands for Tactical Integration and Emergency Response, and our role is bridging the gap between the community and first responders and law enforcement, so that they get an understanding of what those roles entail, as well as provide
mhm.
citizens skills, everything from home and self defense to first aid, CPR, allowing people to just be givers in their community to make a difference and impact, wherever there's a need.
Wow. So many hats you are wearing. Thank you for all that you do. And thank you for joining us for this conversation and bringing your knowledge to this platform that we have here. Thank you. Jennifer, do you want to give people kind of an overview of all that you do and the training that you have in your background?
Yeah, I got introduced to massage therapy and went to massage school in Santa Fe, New Mexico. It was the New Mexico Academy of Healing Arts, and in 1992, 91, 92, and then in 2001, I completed my training to be professionally trained at the Rolf Institute in Boulder, Colorado, and I've done many different types of trainings. Those two, the academy and the institute were healing, especially in New Mexico. They're healing schools, so it wasn't. Um, it was a long standing training site. So we had both at the in New Mexico and in Boulder, just a long history of those schools, being there and training. So it was pretty special for me to be able to do that, and it kind of set me in a different trajectory in my career.
Wow, yes, I love that. I love that they were healing schools, and I like that you emphasize that because this is the healer's journey. This is
Yeah.
what we're here to talk about. Healers in the community and helping them navigate their own self-care. which is really important because it then helps the community with the healing that is needed. Um, Jennifer, how did you get involved or how did you get partnered with H Cubed? I know you are a loved partner for sure. I remember when.
They don't they don't know what to think of me. Yeah, I met Derek and another friend, a mutual friend of ours, Jeff Maple, who's also a coach at Ground Zero, and he was really kind of the connecting link. He's connected me with a lot of people. So yeah, it's just funny how that happens, right? You're in the right time at the right place,
Right.
and the right person arrives. So that's kind of been the evolution on my end. And I'm also a member at Ground Zero, so I participate in their classes. Probably not as much as I would like, but that's a very
Mhm.
important aspect of. I have two children. I'm a single mom, and so I've bought in their culture and in what their mission is. And I believe that the opportunity to work with the heroes is just it's really it lifted me up. About a year ago when I started, it was like, yes, finally I get to do something that is more, because otherwise I'm working with just a very select clientele, right? Like I don't get to
Mhm.
give back in that way so much, because I'm dealing with,
Yeah.
and I'm also supporting myself and my children. So I really thought 30 years ago when I trained that I would be more integrated into the medical model, and that just hasn't happened.
Mhm.
In fact, we've probably gotten further from that. So to hit the ground
Mm.
running with them, to be boots on the ground, grassroots, I'm thrilled, and I just love working with the heroes and the mission. So very happy.
Yes. I love that. I'm so glad that you are getting that expansion, which is what we all want, right? We get into our fields of work because we actually want to do things. We want to help. We want to heal. Um, and so I'm so glad that you were able to find that in H Cube. I love that. Thank you so much for sharing
Mm-hmm.
that.
Yeah.
Derek, thank you so much for bringing us Jennifer. Look how that I love how connections bring people together. Like you
And
say,
she's
right
one
people,
of the
right
best.
time.
She's one of the best around. She is great at what she does. So we're all happy
Well,
to have
law of attraction. We had to all come together for a reason. So how did you get involved with H Cube? What was the story there?
her. Like I said, Carla and I, we worked together at Crittenton. I'll let her share that story of the conversation that took place for her transformation
Just
from
so did
Crittenton to KU. So,
uh-huh. So was it like
so
was she like, Derek, I have this idea and I want you to be a part of it? Or was it like already built and she was like, you are being a part of this, let's go?
oh no, she shared it from the beginning. Her
Yeah.
idea. We have always been on the same page, and it's kind of interesting because we're both fellow East Coasters. Her coming from New York,
Nice.
I grew up on the East Coast, so we just we just had a connect right off the bat, and
I love it.
her heart. It's always been huge. She wanted to really make an impact on first responders. And, I was just like, hey, you just got to get your nose to the grind and make it happen, and I'm there for you, whatever you need. So I'm just happy to be here and
Yes.
support.
Yes, awesome. I love that. I love when we have connections through our work because when we work together with people, that means there's a likeness there. There's a connection because we're both usually striving towards some kind of goal. We want to heal people, we want to help people. And that just
Hmm.
further builds onto a connection to do other things. It opens up so many other doors. I love
Yeah.
that. I love that it expands our community in the things that we are doing. I love
Yeah.
that. So in your own personal journey, oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Oh, okay. So in your own personal journey, what is there like a story? Did you have influence that really brought you into the work that you do, Jennifer? What made you want to go to school and learn to heal?
Well, I was actually enrolled in college at Cornell College, and I was studying anthropology, religion, and art. And so I ended up having this fascinating anthropology instructor that had gone down to the Amazon jungle and worked with a tribe there, and that kind of made me aware of healing, right? And that every culture all over the
Yeah.
world has a form of healing, natural healing, and they share many of the same elements. And so I just ended up. A friend of mine had graduated from massage school, and he sent me all of his textbooks, and he said, "I think you'd be perfect for this." I said, it's 20 years old. I'm like, I don't know if I want to touch people for a living, right? Like, I think I might want to, figure out if I like this or not. So, after I did the application and I kind of thought about it, it did seem to be a good fit for my personality. And I'm more of a doer. I do love to make things with my hands. And so I was definitely one of the younger, we had about 3 or 4 of us in our first semester of healing school, that, most of our um, other students were in their 40s and 50s. And so we were kind of this first wave of young people getting into it. So that was also
Nice.
sort of an interesting dynamic. But yeah, I did all of that, the initial training there, and but I was Rolfed when I was 19, and that's really also something that stuck with
Wow.
me because I thought it was so neat the way that another human being could touch another human being and change them, and
Yes.
do it with their hands and there's no technology there.
Yes.
There's theory, there's principles, there's techniques, but it's really this hand to heart connection and human to human connection. So I've been in love with that since I mean, that's just enthralled me. And I've gone through so many,
Yeah.
I've grown up with it too, right? You get into something when you're 22 and you grow and evolve as a person with the work. And so, I've made, I mean, yeah, I can always say that I was, I had hubris. I was overconfident at times. I was underconfident at times. I was not sure of myself and my knowledge. And then
Mhm.
here I am, 32 years later, and I don't think about it anymore. I sit with people and I want to make them feel better and I want them to get well. And so I think that's sort of the beautiful, culmination of it is it doesn't matter what technique necessarily, it's your intention. And but I am thankful for all the training and all of the, community that I've had around that. So
Yes, I love that. I love how we can set on one path and think we're going one direction only to realize we're only on this path because it led us to a whole other path that we didn't
mhm.
even realize we could be on. I love that. Evolve is the perfect name for what you're doing. But of course you know that because you came up with it.
Well,
So
what's really crazy is that, like, I rebranded. I had another business in Overland Park, and I just I've been through some personal things, and I was like, I really need to make a clean break with my past, So I sort of
Mhm.
said, well, what can I do? What's a new intention I can set? And so I sort of scrapped the old name and came up with Evolve because I, human potential movement is really where a lot of the healing arts came out of in the United States in the 60s. So there's this huge movement
Mm.
of, you know, uh, therapies. I could list them all, but really starting like in California at the S1 Institute. That's sort of the place this all started. And so I was like, well, what do I want to explain? What is this that I want to inspire in people? And it's that we're changing all the time, that we need to evolve
Mhm.
as
Exactly.
the world has become such a polarized place, and we've had so much division and
All right. I think you're losing signal here just a little bit. Um, Derek, I want to shoot over to you. Um, you wear so many hats. You do so many different.
Believe we're losing some connectivity there. Can you hear me?
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, are we back?
I can hear you now. I can hear you now.
Okay, perfect. Little technical difficulties as with the new world of technology usually happens. Um,
Life happens.
Derek, so I want to ask you, you wear so many hats. What goes into your own self-care um, with what you do? Because you wear so many hats, you have to have some kind of self-care routine, right? To really keep
Oh,
yourself going and keep yourself healthy. I mean, you do a lot, and I want to help our listeners and our other healthcare workers kind of get some insight into how they can also care for
um,
themselves.
yeah, it's really about balance. You have to. I've always had the. I've been brought up with the mindset that in order to care for others, you have to care for yourself, and if you don't do that, then you're no good to anyone. So, my
Mhm.
routine is it's a combination. I run, I swim, I lift weights, I take time to meditate. Thanks to Jennifer, red light therapy has been one of the added things to my routine,
Yes.
one of the modalities that I really enjoy. But the thing that probably has helped me the most, though, is the martial arts. I started martial arts at the age of 10 and have been
Wow.
doing them my life, both what's called hard style and soft style, what some would
Mhm.
consider the meditative styles, similar to Tai Chi, Wing Chun, Qigong, which are internal arts. A lot of people think that martial arts is about punching and kicking, where in reality there's a lot of meditation that goes with the martial arts, um, stretching, flexibility, all those things in culmination together, um, I would say have helped me quite a bit. The thing I love the most about Brazilian Jiu Jitsu, which is what when I started Ground Zero, was understanding that Brazilian Jiu Jitsu has now become a modality used by a lot of therapists for the treatment of PTSD, ADHD, and bipolar depression. And it's one of the martial arts that engages both the left and right hemispheres of the brain. So you have the what some people say dinosaur or Cro-Magnon brain, as well as
Mhm.
our intellect. And Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, it engages both of those. So all of that in culmination is what allows me to just really care for myself and just unplug and let it all out. That coupled with what's unique about our facility is we have what we call mat chat. So after the guys and girls are working out hard, they're able to unwind on the mats. Just after a hard workout, they're able to talk. We've created that community, and that's where people
Yes.
are able to vent and just express their feelings, talk about how their day went, or what's going on in their life, and it's kind of created that family environment. So we have those opportunities, as well as we even have we've been blessed with having a couple of therapists that actually their families and themselves train at our facility also. So we have outside resources that we're able to plug people in, be it counseling. Jennifer, having her aboard has been a great addition because when there's injuries, people are able to see her, or even to prevent injuries, they're able to see her as well. So it's just that combination and that balance of doing all of that that allows me to do what I do.
Yeah, that's amazing. I love how you talked about meditation and the internal process that also needs to be in balance, not just taking care of our physical body, but our spirit, the thing that keeps us going, the thing that keeps us going to work and wanting to do the things that we're doing in the community. Um, so you brought up, I was going to ask this next, the red light therapy. Jennifer, can you give us a little more insight on what that is and how you um, came to bring that to be part of your services? I'm so excited to try it. I am going to be coming to try that. I do want you to know that. Oh, I can't hear you. Mhm. Oh, Jenna, we're having trouble hearing you. I'm not sure what happened. Um, mm, mm, mm. I think it disconnected you, so I think she'll try to log off and then log back in. That might help. Um, so Derek, when it comes to the services that you provide in your trainings, um, have you talked to people about the effectiveness of maybe doing the jujitsu or taking some of your classes and how it has impacted them with, I don't know, their daily life or how they go about doing their work? Um, has it been more beneficial physically or internally? Like what are the most effective benefits that your services provide, would you say?
Well, I think it's a holistic approach, and I would say that I allow my students to speak to the newcomers. They have the best
Mhm.
testimonies. You know, it's one of those things that students will sit down and talk with me, and they're like, "I'm really glad that I have this atmosphere and just this environment to be able to train." They experience weight loss, they experience increase in energy, better sleep, calmer when they go to work, less anxiety. One of the things that I've found interesting is many of the students are like, "Hey, I have better energy. I'm able to really work and problem solve through situations. Anytime there's a stressful situation, I'm no longer stressed like I used to be or experience the anxiety because I have that focus that is able to transfer from the mats into the real world." So that's always good to hear how people can utilize what they've learned on the mats to their work and their profession.
Wow. I love that. I like how holistic care affects so many parts of you. It's not just one thing or the other. It's something that embodies the whole person, holistic care. I love that. And I love that Healing Heroic Healers has provided those services and connected and partnered with people like Derek, people like Jennifer. So if healthcare workers can start to understand more about how important their own well-being is, we can really start giving even more to our community, which is what we all essentially want to do, is why we go into the work that we do. So thank you so much for sharing that and doing what you do.
Thank you.
Jennifer, let's see if I don't
Yes.
know if we can hear you. Okay, here we go. I definitely want
Okay.
people to know about the red light therapy. Everyone
Yes.
has been so excited about it. So if you can
So
give
when
us
I
some insight.
Yes, when I started working with the heroes, I also got introduced to the red light through a friend of mine in California, Brett Chilton, and he introduced me to Dr. Rothschild, who is the man who developed and manufactures this bed, the 450 trifecta that I have. And I
Mhm.
really saw the potential to help. So one of the things that, when you're trying to get your health on track and you're trying to incorporate all these new habits, I feel like people do better when they feel better. And the red light
Mm.
has so many benefits, and it's a passive therapy. You don't have to do anything. You lay in a bed for 12 minutes
Mhm.
and it saturates your body, right, with this red light.
Yeah.
And it ignites your mitochondria. It fills your mitochondria, or it inspires the mitochondria to make energy, the ADP, which is the basis for cellular
Wow.
energy and for healing in our body. So it's a pretty magnificent thing. And we've told people for 30 years, I'm sorry that your health, bringing your mind, body, and spirit in alignment is hard work, and you're going to have to, watch your diet and change all these things, and it's very overwhelming. So to me, red light, and also there's
Mhm.
another therapy I'd like to talk about. It really does a comprehensive amount, a wide variety of things. It can reduce the inflammation. It can help heal the gut tissue lining. It can help heal the nervous system, the brain tissue, eyes. I mean, it is like a powerful tonic for the body, and it's a game changer. And they've got them in the UFC training facilities. They got it at the NFL, NBA. I mean, and the fact that we don't have one in every hospital, in every police station, in every, that's my goal, is to get it accessible to
Yeah.
people so that they can go on their break in 12 minutes, feel better, and then they'll do better. They'll make better choices.
Wow.
You actually feel well enough that it's like, I want to drink more water today, or I feel like having a salad, or I feel like, you just tune into your body and it sort of magnetizes you to better choices, which I think is really fundamental. The amount of habits you have to incorporate on a daily basis to really attain your best health is it has to be just running like software in the background. You can't, and so you have to incorporate these
Yes.
habits over time. It's not something you
Yes.
do overnight. So I feel like for
Exactly.
me, working with the heroes, that's something I really wanted to bring to them, because a lot of them, as we know, are suffering. They're already on medications. I mean, there are,
Yes.
they're already, um, sort of their health is on a certain track, and so we want to bring them back into
Yep.
balance. And they're already walking. I mean, they're already working very hard. They've got their
Yes,
steps in.
exactly.
They're witnessing trauma on every shift. They're caring
Yeah.
for others in all capacities. They're doing hard, heavy lifting and work. And if we didn't have them, our healthcare system wouldn't work. And I think that that's this basic investment we need to make in them, is to make their lives better and to make the generations, their children's lives better, right? So that, for me,
Mhm.
it's a huge goal, and the implications of it
Yes.
are to change we can fix things in our society. We can fix some very serious problems and I think um, Healing for Heroic Healers has really broken some ground, and I think it's very
Yes.
exciting. I think it's just going to have a ripple effect. So red
Yes.
light. I also have one more therapy I want to talk about. It's trauma or tension release
Oh,
exercises,
yes.
and I did those.
Yes.
And if I would love to wave a magic wand and just have every single frontline person, frontline worker who comes through my door be able to do 6 sessions of the TRE, and at least
Mhm.
6 sessions, but it just have unlimited access to the bed, because those two
Yeah.
things alone could powerfully affect them and start to heal things that would be life changing. And so that's my
Yeah.
mission. That's my goal.
I love it. I
And
love it. I
there's no reason I should have this bed. It was a miracle in and of itself that I got the bed. So I know it's to be used here.
Yes,
So
I love it. So my whole mission is about really bringing people back to understanding that self-empathy is so important no matter what you do, but especially if you're a healthcare worker, caring for yourself on the inside, on the outside, it has to be your number one priority, or else you won't be able to be of any use to anyone. You will wear yourself down. And that is what H cubed is about. And that's why we're having these conversations, because there is a need and we are trying to fill that gap. We are providing services and getting involved with people who have all the same mission. Derek, we're talking about holistic internal care, outside care, physical, taking care of your body physically, internally, understanding that you have to have a balance. And Jennifer wanting to really help people in a way that really makes a difference. And I love that H Cubed has found such wonderful people to bring together into putting their services into packages and creating cohorts to really teach healthcare workers that they matter and what they do in the community is important and they deserve the care that they are out here giving. So I really want to thank y'all for having this conversation. Um, I think we are running out of time. I just want to ask y'all, do y'all have social media? Any way for people to connect with you? These services are so wonderful. if they're not a part of H Cubed, how can they learn more about what you do and kind of get involved with your services? Derek, do you have anything for people to learn more about what you do or social
Yeah,
media?
they're able to follow us on Facebook and Instagram, or they can also check us out on the web at www.groundzerokc.com or www.bluetiertraining.com.
Perfect. Jennifer, how about you? Do you have a website or
Right
a
now
page of any
I'm
kind?
relying heavily on Facebook. I'm actually in a process of relaunching my business and forming a nonprofit. So there's lots of change going on, but I'll the my phone number, my information, people usually text me. Eventually, very soon we'll have
Mhm.
the ability to book online. And yes, I've got mostly people just get in touch with me. I've sort of been doing this since we had phones that hung on the wall and paper schedule. So I'm going through a massive massive updating and it's painful, but
Yeah, you're evolving. You're evolving.
I'm evolving. I'm coming into the present. So with technology, but yeah, I mean, I run my. It's a private practice up to this point, so it's very much contact me in person. We can have a conversation. Most people find me from word of mouth, so somebody else has told them to come see me. But yes, the red light
Yes.
bed. And I am in my nonprofit, and also we're creating a structure where we can bring some of the best people, not only locally but also across the world, to start to work
Yeah.
to have that structure so people can just plug in and play,
Yeah.
um so
And we
I
have a
love
question
that's
here, Jennifer, for
sure.
you. We have Mark. He asked, what happens in your sessions with you? I know you have two different therapies going on. What,
Yeah,
say someone comes in to get a session with you, what does that look like?
we talk about their health history. We talk about what, I ask them what their goals are. If most people have an injury or they have something they really want to work on. I
Mhm.
do packages. I try to, if I can you'll usually know if my work is going to help you within 1 to 2 sessions. I mean, you should
Oh,
at this
nice.
point, right? It doesn't take very
Yeah.
long. If massage or body work is going to help it, you'll know pretty quickly. And so I've tried to keep my
Yeah.
prices affordable by creating these packages, and then that also is sort of a reciprocal commitment. It's nice because we're in this together, we're committed. And so 4 to 6 sessions, I can usually turn most things around. That's like the intervention. Then you can,
Mhm.
I have a lot of people who just keep continually renewing the packages, and then they get to maintenance mode. So some people do need to come once a week, some people come every 2 weeks
Wow.
when I actually work with them. So a lot of things that I've accumulated, my skills building rapport and assessing the body, yes, comes heavily from the Rolfing work, that paradigm. But I have a lot of other tools
Yeah.
and skills in my toolkit, right? So I couldn't tell you really how it's going to go. I mean, I just get
Really
people
depends on the
in, they
person.
start, yeah, they start work, or they get on the table, my hands start working, and then we develop a treatment plan. And you know I don't have very many people who don't get benefit or don't want to see me. It's very rare. It's
Good.
one of those things where the right people are finding, me. And so,
Yeah. I love
so
that you brought up affordable, low prices because I think that is something that really holds people back from getting services they need. Like I was never going to go, well, I probably eventually would have gone to a therapist or a chiropractor, massage therapist at some point, but I was like, oh, I can't afford it. I'll just wait.
yeah,
But through
that's
H Cubed, I got it for free. And I was like, oh, first of all, it's not as much as I thought it was, and then second, I kinda need this, so it kinda moved up on my priority list because of the work that I do. I need these services to better care for myself and in turn take better care of my clients, and I love that. I love that I've been introduced to that, and I love the partners that H Cubed has partnered with because the work that y'all do, you can hear the passion in your voice, Jennifer, and Derek, you do so much. You can tell that there is a love and a passion for all that y'all do, and I am so grateful. All right, closing questions. Derek, do you have anything that you would like to share, your infinite wisdom that you have to our listeners, to fellow healthcare workers, that you can kind of pass on and share through your experience?
Um, I think it's been pretty much said throughout the this interview with everyone. Just take care of yourself. You have to take care of yourself in order to take care of others. Make it a priority, and also find that community. Find people to talk to be able to share your emotions, to share your feelings, have the physical outlet, also taking care of your spirit as well. If you have a pastor or a counselor or a church family, whatever it takes to like complete that circle and have everything else. And then also remember for those of us who are in healthcare and in law enforcement and first responders, remember why we signed up for this rodeo to begin with. It's
Yes.
because we signed up to help people, and we should never lose sight of that. And with it being our passion, it's one of the things. I truly believe, you pursue your passion, you never have to work a day in your life. So for
Yeah.
me, this doesn't feel like work. It's kind of like a childhood dream,
Every
and
day, Derek's
so
like, I'm just going to go do fun stuff. I love it. I love it.
yeah, it's like when you have that attitude of I get paid to do this, it makes everything great. And we just have as first responders, hospital care workers, we have to remember why we pursued this to begin with, and that's how we make a difference, and people see that.
Yes, 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 yes. So we have a question. So with the HQ recipients, was there a specific thing that they got from your services? Was there a certain service they used, and what was the it says what was offered and what did they get from that service?
Well, that depends on what the client or whatever they're looking for. So
Hmm.
we offer Muay Thai kickboxing, we offer Brazilian Jiu Jitsu. We also do firearms training and home defense. So people that are interested in
Hmm.
concealed carry or just a basic understanding of firearms, and how to introduce that into their home. Right now we're living in crazy times, and so
Yeah.
it's best to educate. We like to educate individuals as well as families when they introduce firearms into the home. That way, there's always that safety and that reassurance and that confidence when handling that. So it really just depends on what it is the individuals are looking for. We offer fitness, we offer weight training, the sky's the limit. Whatever it is that
Yeah.
they need, we're there to help them to reach those goals.
I love that. I love that it's a lot of confidence building. You said, I've been in work, I've been in situations where I had to completely go on instinct, on gut, and be confident that I had the proper training to deal with the situation that is in front of me. So the fact that you're offering a service that helps build that in people, I love that. I really do. Jennifer, what words of wisdom as a mom, single mom, doing the kind of work that you do, what kind of wisdom can you share with our healthcare workers about staying passionate and continuing to go down the path of trying to heal and be a help in the community?
Well, I think that Brandon, in the last interview that you did with Brandon, he said, I
Yeah.
realize that this is sort of a sacred contract, that somebody somewhere is taking care of my family. And so, in some
Mm,
capacity. And so every time I'm with someone, I treat them as my family. I'm
yes.
paraphrasing, but, he just really spoke to my
Yeah.
heart, because that's, we really have, relationships and human to human contact like that is very, very special. And I feel my work is very sacred as well. I think embodying the principles, you really can't you can't take someone else somewhere you haven't been. You can't teach something you don't know. Those are sort of
Yeah.
principles. I think in our world we are almost on this precipice of being drawn into AI, into this virtual world. And so I think children and families all need to be more present in their body, more present in where they are right now. I think Brazilian jiu-jitsu and being empowering yourself. My children started with Derek about 4 years ago, and they have completely been transformed, and their confidence. And Derek always says, enforce your will. enforce your will on a situation. And that's the same
Yeah.
thing about not just having a positive attitude, but you are in control of your future. You are in control of your life. And so I think that when I was with a young woman today who has really relied on her wrestling, and we're hoping to get her to jujitsu too, but she enforces her will on the mat, but she hasn't figured out how to do that in her life yet. But if you can do it there,
Mm,
you can teach it to translate into life. And so that's the gift, and empowerment
exactly.
and community, and um, building armor, and knowing when to put your armor on and when to take it off. I think that's really important, that you, in certain situations, you need to have your guard up, you need to have your boundaries, but then you need to also be able to relax those and be flexible. So it's just, I mean, where do we start? Where do we end? This, we could go on and on all night talking about it.
Yeah.
So, I just, get your red light, get your TRE,
Right.
get your jujitsu, um, you know, you know, come play with us. It's not there's
Yes. Oh
Come
my
with a smile,
goodness.
no matter what.
sorry.
Come with a smile, no
Yeah,
matter what.
exactly.
Yeah, just let
Yes.
us
Come ready
help
to
you.
evolve,
Help
expand, and
us
have
help
fun.
you.
Yes.
And
Yes. I love
there
it.
is that
Thank
side
you
of,
so much.
yeah, what I love about the TRE is really clean. The TRE is a process by which you can really um, recalibrate or regulate the nervous system, and that's really critical to all. I mean, if you're upset and able to calm down and regulate, then that will actually hinder your body's ability to heal. So, and with jujitsu, you are put in these situations where you have to, it's like geometry of your body, you have to figure out how to out of that situation, and that creates new neural pathways into your body and releases trauma as well.
Ooh,
So we're working really hard. We're
yes.
building this for to help. So we just need people to plug in. So
Yes. Thank you so much. Thank you, Derek, for being a part of this conversation. Thank you, Jenna, for being a part of this conversation. Thank you so much to both of you for bringing your experience and your wisdom to the conversation and sharing it with all of us. It is greatly appreciated. And I feel like we've got a lot from this conversation um, about the journey of wanting to heal and working in the community and then expanding yourself and being open to your own healing and your own journey. That's really important for healthcare workers to understand that it's not just going to happen. It doesn't just get better out of nowhere. You have to actively go and seek that and care about how you feel internally, externally, and everything that goes with it. So
change,
gratitude for y'all.
yeah. Just change can be
Yeah,
frightening. It can threaten a lot of your things that you have established that work for you. But I think we're making it as painless and as fun as possible. So
exactly. And thank you to H Cubed for bringing us this wonderful platform to share these conversations and really get people involved and putting information out there that maybe people didn't have before or they don't regularly talk about in their day-to-day lives. And we're creating a community where we can have these conversations and know that we're not alone. As you can see, this is episode 4 and there are more to come. So that is all we have today, folks. Thank you so much for joining
thank
us.
you.
Thank you.
I'm Alicia, Derek, Jennifer. Thank you so much. Until next time, y'all, I'm Leisha Lee, and this was The Healer's Journey.